the invitation.
She'll catch it,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll look at it. And the color immediately stands out to her.
Aika will notice, and he'll glance up from the table, but he won't say anything. He's just going to observe as you open.
Yeah. She looks at him kind of like with wide eyes for a minute, and with a shaky hand will open and read it.
Okay. It is actually a letter that was written from Hunter, and will explain that you have been invited to the funeral services for our son Levi Lionheart.
Oh God. She drops the letter.
Roxana, what is it? At that point, Aika gets up from the table and he rushes over.
She goes as green as he's ever seen her. Very green.
He sees the envelope and he'll pick up the letter. If I may. He reads it. And then you can see in his face as he breathes very deeply. This is not... This is not a good day.
She'll, is there some kind of glass on the table?
Yeah.
She'll throw the tea towel down, she'll grab the glass and peg it at the wall. And she'll just kind of give a frustrated cry at that.
Both Aika and Aika's mom will react to that, but they won't say anything about it. Aika's mom goes over and Aika will share the letter to her. And she will, cup her mouth. Oh my God.
She leaves the room. She'll pull out the poppet and she'll say, Brethviet, which is Albion's.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And I guess I forgot to mention that I guess at the end of the last scene when you try to call Levi, he doesn't respond.
Yeah.
You might have at the time not necessarily thought the worst. Maybe he's just sleeping.
But now,
whatever. But now you know. Now you know why. So Albion, your puppet will start glowing, I think.
Yeah, it'll glow. It'll actually turn black, which he'll know is Roxy.
And I know we didn't get to it, but I assume I got the letter as well.
Yeah. I will say that you will have just gotten the letter at this point.
Albion, are you there?
It's never gonna stop, Roxy.
Oh, you got it, didn't you? Oh, Snowflake. Have you heard from Chessa or anybody?
Out of character, would my letter have been from Hunter as well, or did perhaps Chessa send mine, or who was
I
mine
will
from?
say, I think that Chessa would have sent yours.
Okay.
So Chessa, I think what would have happened is Hunter invited some people, Chessa invited her people. So yours is probably from Chessa. I'm gonna say Juan, yours was also probably from Chessa too. Yours is also from Chessa.
Yeah, I mean, just the letter she sent is the last I've heard from her. I was just talking with Finn, and this owl came. What are we gonna do, Roxy? I told you it's not gonna end. First Asa, Nico, now Levi. Who's next?
What happened exactly? What the hell happened? That's what I want.
Would she have put details in?
No.
Probably not.
You don't know what the cause of death was. Nobody said anything yet.
Okay. I don't know, but I mean, I think it's safe to assume it's... I mean, my dad told me about these attacks that were happening in London. I don't know. The attack in your village and the attack on Kodovstorez, it had to have been an attack.
After after we pulled Nico down. And we tried to call him. You think that might have been when it happened?
That night's kind of blurry for me, but I mean, Levi didn't know about the attack on Kodovsterets, so maybe, I don't know. I mean, if he was helping the Muggles, what if a witch or wizard did this to him?
So like, this is fucked. This isn't fair.
I don't know how much more I can do of this, Roxy.
Don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. Have you spoken to Juan?
I can't even tell you the last time I've seen Juan.
I haven't spoken to him in years. Even till the last, he sure knew how to make a scene, didn't he? She actually kind of chuckled at that.
Are you
I
gonna
bet.
go?
I don't know. I have to. I'm going to this, so that's my affairs here, and then I'm going to go straight to England and see his family, I guess. I think you should go too.
I think you're right, but it's never gonna be easy. But I need to be there for Chessa.
You do. She'll need a friend right now.
Do you think Juan will be there?
I don't know. For all we know, they were fighting each other. Who knows? I don't even know what Juan's doing, to be honest. I'm going to give him a call. See if I can reach him. Maybe he's still got
Okay.
this thing.
I never did get to give him the bracelet that I had Finn make for him. Well, I guess I'll see you at the service then. Just stay safe, Roxy.
You too, for the love of God, do not do anything stupid. And take care of yourself.
Talk to you later. Of course. You too.
Will do. See ya.
Bye, Rox.
You're going to try to contact Juan next?
Yeah, she's gonna hold up the puppet and say Smirkatia.
Juan, your puppet, if you have it on you, will turn black.
Juan will pick it up, almost like he has forgotten about it. And like, how do I use this?
You'll hear Juan say that through the puppet.
You're just talking to it.
Oh, Roxana,
Yeah.
it's you.
Did you hear?
I was trying to be a little more delicate, but yes, I heard.
I don't know. I just I wanted to make sure you know. You have to answer one question for me though, because I have no idea what happened. And for the love of God, answer truthfully.
Go ahead.
Did you know about this? Did you have any involvement in this?
What are you trying to say, Roxana?
Because you were on opposite sides of the war. Don't think I don't know. I just need to know. I don't know what happened.
Roxana, just because we were on opposite sides doesn't mean I would kill Levi or know anything about what happened to him. Do you even know how he died?
No.
He died because of the war?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, Juan, because I don't know anything.
How am I supposed to know anything?
I don't know. Look, I didn't fucking call you to argue, okay?
Aren't
I'm
you
done
going?
arguing with people. I'm done fighting. And I'm going. And you better be there.
Sure. See you there, Roxana.
See you there.
I'm just gonna say, now how the fuck do I stop this?
It just fades. She hung up on you.
She hung up on you. Because you guys are so overwhelmed, I'm sure emotionally, that you glazed over the address where the funeral is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
When you finally realize, to your surprise, the funeral is taking place at 4 Privet Drive. Do you guys know where 4 Privet Drive is?
Isn't that Harry Potter's house?
That's Harry Potter's house.
What the hell?
Why
You're
the
probably
fuck?
wondering, why is the funeral there? Well, I'm going to provide you some back information, which you will discover, which your characters will normally discover by the time the funeral arrives. So give a little bit of history. The Wizarding War with Voldemort ended. The Dursleys, if you remember, moved out of 4 Privet Drive. At least for this campaign's story purposes, they decided that the house that they had temporarily moved into, they were just going to stay there indefinitely. Because of the Wizarding War and all that, they just wanted to start afresh. So 4 Privet Drive, the Dursleys pretty much just let go. What you guys don't know is that Hunter Lionheart, his family, lived in that house
Oh my god.
before the Dursleys moved in. And I checked the date that the Dursleys moved into the house, and it lines up perfectly. So that is actually the house where Hunter Lionheart grew up. And when his family moved out, the Dursleys moved in. So what happened was, after the Dursleys moved out of the house, Hunter Lionheart he purchased back his childhood home, and he donated that house to the Ministry of Magic as a historical landmark. So since then, the House of Harry Potter has become, again, a place where a lot of wizards and witches go to. There's like a tour. You can take a tour of the house. You can take pictures, wizard photographs and stuff. So it's become a historical landmark. And for this particular funeral, Hunter Lionheart felt that it would be appropriate to have the funeral services in a place that for him was a place of happiness. And he thought it was also very fitting to have the people there sort of as a hopeful note, because this is the house of the boy who lived. And right now there are some dark times, and somehow that boy who lived helped bring back the light again. So just to give a little bit of meta information, that is the reason why the funeral is at 4 Privet Drive. Meanwhile, other things that you probably would just know through the grapevine, people are probably wondering, okay, this big Wizarding War is happening. What does Harry Potter and friends think about this? Are they involved at all? So a lot of people were asking, a lot of the Wizarding newspapers have been trying for months to get a quote, an opinion from the Potter household. But Harry Potter himself has been very, very strict about not answering any questions, no comment. He's been very hands-off. And Ginny has made a statement that, they wish to be left alone. Harry did what he did to save the Wizarding World. Leave him alone. He's not gonna save you again. Maybe he could, but that's not his problem right now. You guys can fix this. So right now, Harry is sort of closed off, and he doesn't want to be involved. He's just kind of done with saving the world for the time being. Understandably so. So in case you're wondering, that's why there's no involvement. Which, from a story to narrative, is fitting because this is about your story, not Harry's story. So, you guys will arrive at 4 Privet Drive. It normally is open to the wizarding public. For other muggles, it looks like it's just a rundown shack now. But to you guys, it looks like a perfectly fine, pristine landmark. And you will start seeing in the congregation before the services begin. Finn and Aika have both gotten their owls eventually with the letter, so they too are invited to the funeral. So Aika will be going with Roxana. He's going to be in a very dark robes. Finn also will be in black robes as well. Toby will be there too, as well as Tritessa and Naila. Joe obviously is going to be there. Hunter obviously will be there.
Oh, and Chance.
Chance, you have never seen Chance in black, but he is there, and he looks like he's dressed in black, but he's like very disheveled, and you can see in his eyes. His eyes are like red, like he's been doing nothing but crying for the last week. And last but not least, you see another man who's like hunched over at a chair by himself, and he has a shaved head. I don't think any of you have met this person before, but that's Rodney.
Oh, yeah.
So before the actual funeral services begin, anyone who wants to role play with anyone is welcome to it.
Well, I mean, the first people I would find would be these 2 buckos.
Okay.
Like, I would go around to the family afterwards. And, like, my condolences.
Yeah. Chessa is obviously there too, and
Oh, boy.
yeah,
Are they
Chessa's there
giving
too.
alcohol in this funeral?
I would
Something to
think.
drink.
I would think yes, they're giving some sort of libation to a degree. Yes, I would say so.
This might be a bit of a stretch, especially with everything that happened, but like I imagine Roxana would have replied she would offer to do the bar work. I don't know.
Yes, you can do.
Yeah, she would have offered and said free of charge, so they wouldn't have to pay for like catering, and she'd order in stuff and pay for that. Good.
Albion would have done the floral arrangements too.
Oh,
Great.
okay.
That's beautiful. What kind of flowers? You don't have to give names, but visually,
They gotta be.
what do they see?
They gotta be pink.
Yeah, they're pink roses, and Al actually he's in black, but his suit is trimmed with like a pink trim, and his vest is pink to represent Levi from House Rose Quartz. And Al actually, to avoid having to talk to too many people, he's like very happily just like making sure the arrangements are good. Like he's just trying to keep himself busy and actually like kind of avoiding people.
Okay, if Roxana wants to go find Juan will be just sitting by himself with a drink on his hand.
Yeah, I imagine like, unless like Albion was busy, I'll leave that up to you, AJ. She might have like, I don't know, or if he was arranging something by the bar, because I was gonna talk to both of you at the same time if I could.
Yeah, that's fine.
If that's viable. She'll like move around to the back of the bar. She'll actually not notice Juan at first, not even notice it's him. She'll be right in front of him, not even looking at him, as if not noticing him, arranging glasses, stacking them, putting them aside, and she'll look up and she'll just like stop. Hey,
What's up, Roxy?
Doing bar work. Can I get you something?
What do you have?
Everything. Spare no expense.
A whiskey then.
Whiskey. Mixer? Or just straight?
Just straight.
Alright. She'll fill up. Chuck a nice glass in there. Slide it to him.
How have you been doing? How are you doing? How's life?
Well, um, my bar burnt down, so that's great. Um, Living in Russia, Ike and his mother are there with me. Not good, Juan. Seen better
What
days.
happened to your bar?
Burnt down.
Yeah,
Muggles
but
attacked the village.
muggles.
Um.
I
Oh, sorry.
muggles are really. I know. I know that. I I I really never thought that muggles and us could coexist, but I think that a part of me had this hope that we could actually do it, That it wouldn't be as bad as I thought it would be. But it is. Maybe it's even worse.
Well, let's remember whose funeral we're at. We can't give up hope on that just yet. Give it a bit longer. How are you doing?
Traveling around.
You fighting?
Not really. Doing some other stuff. Whatever they need me to do. Can't
How's-
really talk about it.
Ah, I get it. Apologies out of character in advance. So, how's the doves? Your brothers?
Dude, at that moment, Juan will just finish his drink in one gulp. Can you get me another one?
Yeah. She'll pour it. Slide it to
Skylar
me.
is. Thanks. Skylar is. He's fine. Like, she's with mom. They're doing okay. Last time I checked.
And Carlos?
We haven't heard from him. No, I can't keep bullshitting. He's dead.
What?
I was in a mission. I was working. And I found the place. Muggles capture him, torture him,
No.
and eventually drove him to suicide. Another big gulp. This time he will drink half the glass.
She'll reach across the bar and grab his hand very tight. I'm very sorry. He was a good kid.
He was the best of us.
Fuck. Right?
Juan will squeeze back at Roxana's hand. I don't know. What are we going to do, Roxana? I don't see an end to this war. I just know that Muggles can't win. If they do, we're all dead. They don't care for us. They don't think of us as human beings.
You don't know that. Some of them do, I'm sure.
I
There's just
saw the labs where they tortured my brother to try and find whatever make him magic. And not only him, a bunch of others. And not only wizards, but other centaurs, leprechauns, all of them.
Look, Juan. It sucks. It's not right. And it's not fair. But I'll say it again. Remember whose funeral you're at.
I'm gonna miss Levi.
Me too, Juan.
But he picked the wrong side. And Juan will just finish his glass.
Does Albion come over at any point? Sorry, I didn't want to get too far ahead of that.
No, that's okay. I didn't want to mess up the flow. I assume Al was within earshot and he was coming up and he probably stopped when he heard him talking about Carlos and then the sides and everything. So I think at that point Al would come up and I think he would. Did Juan just take a drink?
Yep.
Al would fill the glass back up, Juan's glass, and just take a drink himself and put it down and say, "The wrong side. You act like there's a right side to all of this. There is no right side to this."
All right, look, I can see where this is going right now. And I'm going to put the fucking cap on it before it escalates any further, okay? We're not going to talk about politics. We're not going to talk about the fucking war, okay? Neither of you are. For once, can we just pretend? Right? Let's just think about high school. Let's think about that. Let's think about that. We used to be friends. That we could stand being in the same room as each other. Let's remember that. Don't talk about the war. Not today. You could do it tomorrow. Not today.
I'm sorry, Roxy. I just...
okay.
Cheers to that. Oh.
Albicon, you'll hear a voice from behind. And you see that Chessa will be right there. And she's a very solemn look, very poker face. And when she sees you, she will move to give you a hug.
He'll hurry to her rather quickly and just give her the tightest hug. I assume they've only kept in touch about the funeral and the arrangements via Al, so they haven't seen each other. So he'll hug her really tightly.
She will also hug you very tightly, and she says, "Thank you so much for all the flowers, Albicon. They're beautiful. I know that he would have loved them."
It's the least I could do, Chessa. I know words are nothing at this point, but I'm so sorry. He didn't deserve this. You didn't deserve this.
You're right. None of us deserve this. It's a terrible, awful tragedy that I'm still trying to make sense of. But I know nothing will make sense of it. I'm also sorry for you. I heard what happened to the twins, and I think that's just awful.
What happened to the twins?
Oh yeah, I was about to ask if we were both in earshot because I'm still doing other stuff.
I don't know if it's appropriate to continue on with bad news, but let's just say that there's been more tragic casualties in this war.
Look, Roxy, I wasn't trying to start a fight, but that's what I meant by there is no right side here. There's no wrong side. There's just too much death on both sides.
It's okay.
I'm just...
Let's just say goodbye to our friend today, okay? I know you weren't trying to do anything. I'm not angry. I'm not angry.
Roxy, Tessa says as she gives you a nod, and she'll walk towards you to give you a hug.
She will hug it back tightly and just say, I want to say I'm sorry, but it's not really going to make this better. But I am sorry.
I'm glad you're here. And I appreciate you trying to keep this day remembering and honoring him. You were always wonderful about keeping that focus when it's important. So thank you.
Sorry. It's okay.
Chesa, Juan will ask, still sitting with a drink. I'm sorry to ask, but I need to know. What happened?
She will first go up to you and says, I will answer that after I give you a hug. And she will give you a hug tightly.
Juan will hug her back.
Thank you so much for coming, Juan. I know that you've been really busy, but I was hoping we would see you here today.
I would have missed it for anything.
To answer your question, she swallows a little bit. Without getting into too much details, he died saving people's lives during the battle at Lambeth, London. He died saving me.
Sounds like him.
That's the short of it, at least. And you excuse me if I don't really want to get any more details than that, but for now, that's all you need to know. He died a hero. And that's what I want everyone here to remember.
Amen.
Amen.
If there's anything you need, you have the three of us, so.
I know. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. I just want you all to just be very, very patient with me and with Hunter and Joe. We're all taking this in stride, and things right now are still a bit of a dream to us, so just be patient with us, please.
Okay.
At this, Joe actually has approached the three of you, and he clears his throat. I wanted to thank the three of you for coming. I also wanted to ask, and I apologize if this is very late notice, but the three of you I know have been extremely good friends to our son, especially back in school. I was wondering if one or more of you would be willing to say a few words about Levi during the services today. No pressure, but I would love it if at least one of you did.
Sure. Yeah, I'll say something.
He'll look at Albion and Juan if they have any interest in saying anything.
Al will. He'll say, just give me a minute. I'll let you know. And Al's going to step outside.
Okay. And Juan, is he going to decline or?
Juan's going to shake his head. I'm sorry. I can't.
Not at all. No, 100% understand. It's a lot to ask. Hunter asked me if I wanted to say anything, and I also declined because I understand. So, well, please have a drink, and I think the services will begin in about 15 minutes, and Joe will walk away. Hey, Juan. About 30 seconds later, you'll hear a voice, and it's Naila, and she
Fuck.
is dressed all in black, with
Fuck,
her
fuck, fuck.
hijab as well.
Oh,
Roxy, if I can have a drink, please.
What can I get you? Do you have any requirements that I need to know about?
I just want some fizzy water is really all that I want. Just some fizzy water.
Coming right up. And she'll go get that for her. Undo the cap and slide it across the table.
how are you, Naila? How'd you been? I haven't heard from you in a while.
Well, I wish I could say I've been doing okay, but not exactly. But as I overheard, we're not talking about that subject, so I'm just gonna say things are, other than that, things are just grand. Other than that. So, Juan, one of the things that did happen, so I met someone, and that person, believe it or not, actually saved my life. And it's the weirdest thing, because that person, she's talking to you privately. She pulled you aside so nobody else can hear. It's the weirdest thing because the person who saved me handed me their wand. And I couldn't help but notice that it looked exactly like yours.
He did? Did you have the wand here?
I do. And she whips it out. Does this look familiar?
Let me take a look at it. He will grab it.
She pulls it away. Why don't we compare it to yours?
I haven't been using mine as of late. I don't really need it.
Oh, yes, of course. Okay. She says,
But
I noticed on this wand... Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go.
No, go ahead. What are you going to say?
But I would like to see it to see if the familiarity.
Well, that's the thing, that I know your wand very well, too, and I noticed that on this particular wand, there's this little etching right there. Out of character, how many hoops are on your wand?
I only have one.
One. There's an etching right there, which is almost exactly like the etching that you had in your wand before, too.
No, wait. Wait, that's right. This is another character moment. If Naila had my wand...
Then you couldn't have used the hoop.
And...
No, you could have. You could have. Because you don't have to have it on you.
Oh.
You can still use the hoop even though you don't have the wand. You can still use it.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, you can still use it.
Perfect. Then, all good.
Yeah, we're still good. Those hoops are powerful.
They are. Someone needs to go get Levi's.
Yeah, I wonder where Levi's hoop is right now.
But she means it.
That's like a cool coincidence. Let me see it.
She will pull it away one more time and say, "So Juan, where were you last week on such and such a date?" Which is the same date that you rescued her.
Oh, working, classified things I can't really talk about.
Okay. Were you anywhere near the Port Authority by any chance? The London Port Authority?
Even if I was, I couldn't really tell you.
Roll me a deception. I just want to see what you get. Roll me a deception.
16.
Okay. She'll hand you the wand back to you. Slowly. Here you go.
Huh. It really looks like it's fine, right?
It does.
What a crazy coincidence. Do you mind if I take it home and compare it with my wand?
I think that's okay.
Perfect.
How's your family, Juan? How's your mom?
I last time I saw them, they were good. Yeah, yeah. I haven't really talked with them that much. And yours?
Yeah. My family's fine. They just a little frightened, with the war. They're currently in hiding like a lot of us are. So,
It's very comforting to hear in these times that at least someone is fine. I want to go talk with Tritessa.
yeah, that's fine. Troitessa is actually with Toby right now. And Toby has his arm around Tritessa's waist, and Tritessa's having a drink. And she's probably had Tritessa's looking a little tipsy, actually.
Juan is too. Don't worry, he's like a 3 whiskey.
Hey, Della de Rivera.
Hey,
Fancy
Tritessa.
meeting you here.
Hey, Toby.
Hi, Juan. It's been years. It's you look good.
Yeah, you guys look good too. How you been? Like, what's the new thing?
Think the last few weeks have kind of sucked, to be quite honest. I've seen a lot of things that I wish I didn't see. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way too, Tritessa says.
Yeah. I guess we've all had shitty weeks then. War has been crazy.
I just want this to end. But it's taking so long. And people like Levi are just... This should have ended a long time ago, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. We don't need any unnecessary sacrifices. These shouldn't have happened. But that's what I'm working towards, to make things right again.
I hope that now that you're here, Juan, that maybe we'll hear from you more often. You've sort of lost touch from everybody, it seems.
Oh, yeah. Just that my job takes me from place to place to place to place, and it's difficult to keep contacts that way.
Albion left the room, right?
Let's see what
Yeah.
Al is doing.
Is he just going out just to be by himself? Is he?
Yeah, he wants to speak, and he's just trying to gather. He knows he shouldn't bring up the war, so he's really just trying to get himself in a state of mind that he doesn't slip and just say something, because he's very angry. I think he's going through the anger right now, so he's just trying to get himself together so he can do that well.
I'm just gonna say that some time passes and it'll be time to gather people for the services. So I'm assuming that Albion will come back. When you return back, you're gonna see that Finn is actually with Chance. Chance is right now on Finn's shoulder, and he's just Chance is a mess, and Finn is trying to console him. So right now Chance is crying a little bit on his shoulder, literally on his shoulder right now. Everybody starts to gather around. This is an open casket service, so you do see Levi's body. They have dressed Levi in golden robes, the same golden robes that Chessa wore when she was in school, which you can presume is probably something a little symbolic. And he is lying down on his back, and he's got his... How long is his wand now, Brandon? How long is this wand? I've lost track. It keeps
17.
The number keeps going up,
His casket is
but-
just his wand. He's laying in his wand.
His casket is just his wand. Somehow this wand just keeps growing every single time, every single scene that we mention it. But anyway, he has his wand, like on his hands, and he's just sleeping peacefully in his coffin. And Hunter and Joe obviously are going to be way up front. Chessa is going to be up there as well. And Hunter is going to get back up and into the front at the podium, and he says, "Friends, family, thank you so much for coming here to honor and remember the life of our son, Levi Lionheart. I know that the times has been very difficult for everyone. I wish I could say that this is going to be the last of these services that you will attend, but I can't promise that. For now, though, I want to focus on this man, this individual. On behalf of myself and my husband, we want everyone to know that we appreciate all of your support, all of your love, all of your kind words. And even if in that moment we might seem a little bit off, a little distant, know that everything that you have done, offered, said is deeply appreciated. I love my son very much. It is why I chose to have the services here at Privet 4 Drive, which is a symbolic place in the wizarding world. It is a place of hope. Within these walls, the boy who lived arguably held a very horrible life. He lived in a cupboard. He believed that he had a family that simply didn't love him. And yet that boy grew up and saved us all. That is the type of person that I see in my son as well. He did everything in his life to help other people, even despite his own personal hardships and struggles and insecurities. I believe very deeply that it is not about how long you live, but what you do during the short time that you have. And as far as I'm concerned, Levi made every moment of his life count, whether it was to bring a smile or a laugh to our faces, or to simply be there for a big, warm hug. I would ask for anyone who wishes to come up to say a few words to please do so now, and let us continue to honor and remember our friend, my son. And with that, he will leave the podium for anyone who wishes to go up to speak.
If Chessa or he would let she would let any family go up first, but if none made a move,
Yeah. No one's making a move at the moment, so.
she will stand. She'll
Okay.
So, I'm going to start this off by saying that me and Snowflake actually didn't have the best relationship starting off. He always lived his life, I think, at least in the early days, trying to please people, trying to be a friend to everybody, even people like me who weren't as nice back. But eventually, we did become friends. It's funny because I used to make fun of Levi all the time. for making jokes or saying silly things or doing silly things. Truth is, it's what I loved most about him. Because no matter what he would say or what I would say back, it did make me happy. It did cheer me up. He had this energy where he could walk into a room and just make people happy. This person loved so much, and no matter what you did to him or what the world threw at him, he just loved so passionately and so dearly. And he was one of the greatest friends I ever had. And this world is going to be emptier without him. But wherever he is now, I'm sure he wouldn't want us to be sad sacks about it. He'd want us to party. He'd want us to have fun. And remember the good times. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remember my good times with Levi Lionheart. And she's gonna take the Walkman out of her pocket and she's gonna put it in the casket. And she's gonna say,
Al hesitates for a minute, but he finally gets the courage and walks up. When my grandmother passed many years ago, my mom shared a Japanese proverb that didn't make a lot of sense when I was younger. She said, "Duty is heavy like the mountain, but death is light like a feather." Throughout his life, especially lately, I know Levi embodied that sense of duty. He always did what he thought was right in his heart, no matter what other people thought. He was himself, 100% Levi Lionheart. And I'm actually tearing out, but Al will start to tear up too. Levi was one of my best friends. And as the proverb says, I hope he embraces death light like a feather. Even if the rest of us are stuck carrying the burden of duty, Levi, I hope you rest in peace. And Al will walk over to the casket and he'll conjure some flowers that are different than the ones he's decorated with. The name of them is actually Alstroemeria, but they are a flower associated with friendship. And he'll just conjure a small bouquet of them. I sent a picture in the chat. And then instead of heading back to his seat, he'll actually walk out again and just step outside of the house.
The next person that goes up to the podium is the man with the shaved head. And he actually approaches the podium with his guitar. And he clears his throat and says, "This is probably the most lucid that Rodney has been in a very long time." And he says, "I know that a lot of you guys probably don't know me. Hi. My name is Rodney Bettinger. I was a childhood friend of Levi's back in the day, and we just did some stupid stuff, you know. But I knew that this guy, he had a very good heart, and he always was there for me. He was very loyal. And lately, we kind of drifted apart. And I wish I could turn back time and make some different choices and maybe made more of an effort to keep in touch. It's hard, because you think that you have all the time in the world and you feel like you're gonna grow old together and, well, I wasn't able to hang out with him then, we'll hang out again some other time. But I guess as we know, the reality is this is not always true. And that clock, man, it just keeps on ticking. And you just kind of hope that whatever opportunities you have, you grab when you can, and if you don't, you just hope the opportunity comes back. So anyway, I don't want to drag this along for too much because I never was that big of a talker, so I'm more of a singer. So I think I'm just going to sing a little something for my friend, if you guys don't mind. And he starts, strumming the guitar, and he sings a very simple tune. This is actually like a kind of a lullaby that my mom and dad used to sing to me, but I adjusted some of the lyrics in Levi's honor, so he starts strumming. How very special are we for just a moment to be part of life's eternal rhyme. How very special are we to have on our family tree Mother Earth and Father Time. He turns the seasons around, and so he changes her gown, but they always look in their prime. They go on dancing their dance of everlasting romance, Mother Earth and Father Time. The lion roars and braves the scene. Oh, what a gift he gives, and his heart beats for young and old. Oh, what a joy to live. How very special are we for just a moment to be part of life's eternal rhyme. How very special are we for just a moment to be part of life's eternal rhyme. That was for you, man. Peace, Levi. Snaps in the room. Everyone's looking around to see if they want to say anything. Chance, who is still on Finn's shoulder, looks around, and Finn sort of looks at Chance, and Chance just shakes his head and buries his face into Levi because he just can't say anything. Chessa will finally get up. I wish I could say something that could put you all at ease. I wish that I could, as powerful as magic is, I wish there was some magic wand that we could wave and just have all the ugliness of the world to just disappear and fade. But I know that it's not something that I can just do. I lived my life, through school especially, trying to be the best person that I can be. Trying to learn as much as I can and succeed. And I always told myself that my biggest rival was myself. But I have to tell you today that my biggest rival was Levi. He pushed me so much harder than I ever did. And he opened my eyes to parts of life that I never would have had the bravery to partake in. And it was very scary sometimes, but it was all so thrilling. And I knew that even during the uneasiness and the scary times, he was there to hold me in his very strong arms. And we did it together. And that was the best part of it. I look at all of you and I see him in your eyes, because he reflected upon you like a mirror. And it is just the most beautiful thing. And even though he's no longer here physically with us, I have some comfort in knowing that as I look into your eyes, I can still see him. I can still see him in you, and in you, and in you, she says, pointing at everyone across the room. It will never be completely okay. There are many things that we had planned to do together. And as someone like myself who plans things years in advance, I think one of the most challenging things is to have all of that taken away. I want us to remember Levi as being a person who not only challenged himself to be the best that he could be, but also challenged all of you to be your best potential. To really dig deep inside yourselves and ask yourselves those difficult questions. To challenge you to rethink what you believe you know and what you believe you understand of this world. Because he made me question things all the time, and it was such a pain in the butt, let me tell you, every time he made me rethink things. But it was important. And moving forward with the way the world is right this moment, I think we do have to sometimes ask ourselves those difficult questions and really sink deep into what we really believe is right and what we believe is easy. I love you just as much as he loved all of you. And to Levi, I don't know if you can hear me right now, but you told me that it was fun breaking the rules. And the rule says that you're gone and you can't come back, so could you please, if there was a way for you to break this one rule, just this one time, break it. I understand if you can't. But if there's any way that you can break this rule, that would be probably your greatest achievement. Goodbye, my love. Until I meet again with you. And I know that when I see you next, your robes will be blindingly golden and vastly more beautiful than anyone has ever worn them in the past. And with that, Chessa leaves the podium. The rest of the services go on. Long story short, they will have a processional. The casket will eventually be closed with Levi's wand and his hoop, unless anyone has anything to say about that.
Oh, don't worry, I have.
Casket is closing. Oh, you thought about that. What exactly did you?
Yeah, of
what
course
exactly is
you
going
have,
on?
Clef. Of course
But
you're
not
What-
gunning
right
for
now,
my
not
wand
right
on
now.
Not
my
right now.
dead hands.
What is it about the Harry Potter books of people digging up people's coffins and taking wands out of their hands? What is it about that? All right.
Not right now.
You give that hoop to rocks. You do that.
They're going to process over to the graveyard where they will ultimately bury Levi.
Okay.
I was going to quickly say something to Chessa.
Oh, yeah, you can. Do you want to say something as their person? Sure, go ahead.
I'll just after it, like, just as everyone's proceeding outside, I'm just gonna pull her aside quickly. I'm like, I know it's a bit late for this, but there's something you need to know about Levi's wand.
His wand, I beg your pardon?
He's got something on it that you might want.
You mean this? Chessa holds up her wand, and there's an etching on it right now.
I don't care about this then.
Well, Juan doesn't know. Juan
I
doesn't
know,
I
but-
want Juan digging up this grave.
Yeah, so
Thinking, I want Juan
digging my
digging up
grave
this
for
grave.
nothing. He's just
For
getting my
nothing. I wanna
4-foot
see it.
wand out my
Yes.
casket.
Yeah.
Roxanne is just gonna nod. It's very handy. Keep it close.
Oh, I know. Thank you for checking. I don't think Levi would want that to go down with him. I think he would want us to keep it.
Yeah.
You'll go. You will all say your goodbyes as the casket gets lowered into the earth. People are throwing flowers, like some of the pink roses, down.
You didn't want to be my friend from the beginning, so we don't have to pretend to be friends. We can honestly stop. Competition's over. Actually going to separate schools. You guys never have to see me again. You don't have to be bothered with my stupidness or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I think we should go as the Spice Girls. Just saying. Just saying.
Who?
Luckless, my lady.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Throw that in at the end, man. They'll get what you're saying. You see what I'm saying?
The engraving says, "So lost Levi will always find it."
Aww.
Maybe it's not Toby that needs you. It's you that needs Toby.
You're the Levi that ghosted Rodney.
Ghosted Rod? No, I didn't ghost Rodney at all. Look,
You're Lost Levi, aren't you? You're what everybody's calling Lost Levi.
no, yeah, that's totally me.
You know what, Chance? No, I'm going to be the real Levi here. You are the only one here that knows the real me. You're the only one that's ever really cared about meeting the real me.
Who hasn't seen Star Wars?
That's what I said. Oh my God.
You're the only person that made me feel like everybody else. You never treated me differently from anyone. I don't know, I just feel like I can be myself around you, and that's probably the most valuable thing anyone has ever done for me.
You are way smarter than me. I just want to let you know that. Chessa, will you marry me?
You were a valuable member of our team, perhaps one of the most valuable. And if I ever make you feel like you were less to any of us, no. To me, you're one of my best friends right now.
It wasn't until recently that I realized, and he'll point to the pink flower. He'll say, "That was actually you, Levi. I never knew who that pink flower was, but when we met all those years ago, I didn't realize until now that you were so important."
I had it in my head that you were exactly what I said you were. But the more I got to know you, the more I realized that you, like Albie and Juan, might be the mind and I might be the fist, but you're the heart, Levi. You're very kind. And no matter how much shit I threw at you, you still had my back.